Hello, everyone. Welcome to the On Life Paranormal Podcast. I'm your host, Russell Reynolds, coming to you for the Saturday night. Hope everybody's doing well out there that's tuning in. Before we get into the show and introduce our guest, we do have a sponsor now, so I do have to play a commercial. Um, it is about children's books that two of my good friends wrote. Um, I made the commercial for it. So, without further ado, there is a QR code on the end of the video. You can scan. It'll take you right to their website to purchase these books. These books are good for birthday parties, bedtime stories, Christmas gifts, for schools, libraries. So be sure to give them a look, and you also get free music downloads with your purchase of these books. So they are also gospel music artists, so be sure to check it out. Without further ado, here's the video.
I sing out loud, my voice lifts hearts. Tucker House proud when the music starts. Sawyer plays the keys, soul through sound. Carson's guitar shakes the ground. We're the dream team, and we love to sing. Tucker backs us up, he's such an amazing pup. He keeps the rhythm.
And there you go. We'll play it once again before the show ends. So, before we get into the show, come see us at Mortuary Manor, Mother's Day. That's the wrong flyer that they gave me, but so come see us there, and you get VIP tickets with it, and come and investigate with my dad and I, the cousins of the Warrens, especially for you new investigators. You can come out and investigate with us. There's also general admission tickets as well. That'll let you go at your own pace. You'll be going with Jen, I believe. And then, so be sure to come out, check it out, and investigate with us. You'll learn some stuff. We'll teach you the equipment. We'll do some experiments. And our next event that we are confirmed at is going to be the West Kentucky Paranormal Expo, hosted by Josh Morris from TEPS Investigate and Ken 10 Paranormal. My dad and I are one of the guest speakers that are going to be there. There's going to be a bunch of vendors, a bunch of teams there. Be sure to come on out. I have a cousin who's going. She sells some stuff too. The headliner for it is Aaron G. Thompson's from 28 Days Haunted. So be sure to come on out, check him out as well, get an autograph with him. And like I said, there'll be several teams out there. Check out Ken 10 Paranormal, West Kentucky Paranormal Expo event on his page, and you'll see all the teams. Outlaw Paranormal from Tennessee are good friends of ours. Rachel DeMarco, 202 Podcast, Jen Jacobs, who's hosting the Mortuary Manor in Ohio. And Josh Morris. So, without further ado, we're going to introduce our guest. Our guest is producer, and she also works with Michael Gagliano, who was on the show here for Para with a Normal. She's a paranormal investigator, producer, actress, as you read in her bio on the event page. A good friend of the show. Got to meet them at the Rock Island Paracon, and so be sure to give her a warm welcome. We're going to bring her on, MaryLynn Bast.
Hello.
Hey, MaryLynn, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
So tell my audience a little bit about yourself. I got some new viewers I see are tuning in tonight.
So I am a psychic medium. I have been able to do this since I was about 4 years old, and it's just been part of my life. So it's something that has just grow up with it. And whenever I met Mike, we just kind of formed a friendship, and then we started Para with the Normal, and have gone from there. And now we've started Lost Goat Productions, so we're helping other people to find their dreams as well.
Oh, nice. So what got you into the paranormal field? Was it a
So the paranormal into the paranormal field itself, I was actually writing a fiction, some paranormal books about werewolves and things like that. So I kind of saw some teams out there doing investigations and stuff. So I decided to join in, and I became hooked. So it was something that I just like to continue doing that and going out and just seeing if I can connect with the locations, connect with the people. And it just got to the point to where doing it every weekend. And then whenever I moved to Las Vegas, I started doing the haunted lockdowns out at the Pioneer Saloon. And I was the lockdown leader out there. And it got to the point to where we were doing that 2 or 3 times a week. So love being in the paranormal and love being able to help people.
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about Para with the Normal.
Yeah, that's a whole different breed. So it's the show was a creation of Mike Galliano, brand new into the paranormal. I kind of got him into going to a event with me, and he had never done anything like this, and he got hooked from that event. He met with Shane and Josh, and then the idea of Para with the Normal formed, and he was able to talk with them about it and brought me on as the psychic. And he calls himself, the way he refers to it is Para with the Normal is the paranormal meets the office. It's where a psychic is working with an idiot trying to teach him how to investigate. So it's he learns along the way, but then he also forgets along the way. And he has this thing of have to eat every show. And it's to the point is like, I know to expect it, but when and where he's going to do it, our show is totally unscripted. So it's something that just go along with whatever he's doing. And then I have to react, and then he reacts to me. And that's how we get our show.
Right. And I know he's a hilarious guy. Meeting him in person, you can definitely tell. If anybody's seen his Rock Island promo video, him digging through the trash.
So what you see there, that's him 24/7. So it's not an act. It's just, that is just him. He loves having fun. He loves making people laugh and just being himself. So, and it's just, like I said, I never know what he's going to get himself into that I have to get him out of.
Right. So you basically got to keep a leash on him pretty much.
Pretty much. I've already warned him that I'm going to put a leash on him soon, or a shock collar. Every time he does something, just shock him. I can just see that. But yes, it's like I said, I never know what he's going to do, or, I'm always afraid he's going to fall down and hurt himself because, he had the brain injury. So this about 6 months ago, he was in the accident. So that's my concern all the time is like, are you going to hurt yourself? And he's good. He is a bodybuilder, and he's done karate, stuff like that. So he's obviously he's in very good shape. So he knows how to do falls and stuff like that, but it still worries me.
Right.
I'm always the mom here.
And the good thing about that is too, because that breaks up the monotony. Because
Yes.
as I do paranormal investigating, we're not always guaranteed we're going to get evidence. We can sit in a location for hours and it could be quiet.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's where it's like, well, I always say that they're not there for our entertainment. They're not there to act on command. Some of them do, but that's not going to be the typical place. So when you go in, you can be really active one night and the next day completely dead. No pun intended.
Right. it all depends on how much energy they got and what if they want to communicate. Some don't. Rather just be left alone.
Well, and I think too, a lot of it is the energy that you bring in. So when someone comes in and they're low energy or they're just having a bad day or not feeling good, that's not really giving them the positive energy so that way they can want to interact with us. So if you go to a party and you're just sitting there in the corner, nobody's going to come talk to you.
Right. And I know he likes to eat quite a bit. I've seen him with all them hot dogs and stuff.
He eats all the time. So when we were traveling, it would be like every stop, he would go in and just get this bag full of goodies, and then he would eat just a little bit of it. And so my cupboard is full of stuff that he has left over. But since the head injury, he's not really tasting much, but he still gets the sweets, and it's an automatic thing for him just to go buy it. And so like the other day when we were traveling, he left M&Ms and all kinds of stuff here at the house. So again, in the pantry, I've got a Mike stash.
So do you go out and film, or are you behind the camera, or are you out in front of the camera with them?
I do both. So I'm behind the scenes we have several of the projects that we are working with. I do some of the in front of the camera with some of them, but there's several of them that I'm behind the camera as well. Well, I'm behind the cameraman. So we've got camera people that's doing that, but I'm helping with the logistics and just kind of what's going on set is what you can say. But no, we have Paranormal. We have another that we're shooting a series of Permanent Vacation. And then we also have probably, I think, 5 other projects that we're working on. Hi, Marcy. So we're lining up, and we just had another call this past week for another possible project as well.
Oh, nice.
So that's what I was saying. We want to help other people get their visions out there and just be able to make this happen.
You and me may need to have a talk after this show.
Let's talk. I have a thing for a pitch deck, and if you get me the information, we can talk about it and go from there.
All right, that'll work. I got some projects in mind as well too. So
okay. Yeah, because we're always looking, and Mike is very creative. Just kind of give him one idea and he can run with it. Anytime I need a name or something that's kind of just different, I'll just say, hey, I need this. And within minutes, I have something to go with. Very creative. Hey, Annie.
Yep. It says you'll be at Cajun County Paracon.
Yep, Cajun Country Paracon with Marcy Lee, Louisiana Spirits. And Marcy actually works with us out at Lost Goats, and so does Annie. She's my production assistant and personal assistant, so she helps out. But yeah, we'll be there. Mike is doing the MC for the first night, and he's doing, I'm doing a gallery reading. And then the next day, I'll also be doing my paintings, and we're doing a panel interview with Beacon TV and just all kinds of other stuff. And they're even bringing in alligators for us to hold the little baby alligator. So I'm excited for that.
Oh. So with you being a psychic medium for the show and stuff with him acting funny, does that counteract like your abilities to pick up the spirit activity that's in a location, or?
Well, most of the time it doesn't. I'd say 99% of the time it does not. But we did have season 2 where we were filming, and just because he likes to wear costumes as well. So he'll come in with specific things that's kind of themed to where we're going, or it should be themed to where we're going and not quite fit in. But one of the episodes, he's in a costume, and I just cannot concentrate. Anytime he moves around, it's like, okay, I can't do this. So, but most of the time it's not an issue. But since his accident, he has started kind of stepping up and being able to sense things. As we're driving down the road now, 2 miles away, he'll start looking around. And at first it's like, well, what are you doing? And because he's feeling these cemeteries. And so as soon as we start getting closer, because I always feel them, but just never thought that he would be. And so he's starting to feel that. And then in another one of our episodes on season 2, he actually goes in and does something on the paranormal side, that in the kind of like the psychic side, that you would not expect him to do. So it's going to be a good season finale.
Oh yeah, especially if he's starting to develop those, and the more he does it, the more seasoned he gets.
Yep.
He's going to start getting stronger.
Well, and that's what I tell everybody. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has something with them, but it's to the point of, are you in touch with it? And the more you get out there, the more you do this, the more that you're involved in the paranormal, it's going to start growing. And the more people that you get around with those abilities, you feed and learn off of each other, and it just enhances. To me, that's what I think anyway.
Right. I agree. I mean, even like my dad and I, we both had NDEs, so
I've had that twice. So, yeah.
And you know as well as I do, they love us.
Yes, it definitely enhances, and it just makes it even more so. And just, it's like you're more in tune, and that's where it gets to the point to where sleeping at night, if I don't do some kind of protection around me, I'll wake up and they're all right there. So it's like, okay, you're not allowed here, you're not allowed there, and you set those boundaries.
Yep. Yeah, I've got to do the same thing. Like even dreams, I've learned over the years how to shut my dreams down at night, so I'm not bringing stuff in. Once in a while, something will come in. If it's like my mom who's passed on, she's got a message for me or something, I'll see her in a dream.
Okay.
And
I was going to say that you have someone that's behind you on your left shoulder that stays right there with you.
Probably my mom.
And that's on your mom's side. For me, whenever I'm looking that way, it's on your mom's side.
Yeah.
But she looks over you and sometimes is tapping you on the head and saying, hey, wake up, listen.
Probably. That sounds about right. She used to do that to my dad, too.
Okay, that makes sense, because it's almost like she has a pencil or something in her hand that she's tapping.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
Like my dad, it would have been a fork.
There you go, because I could see something in her hand. I'm just not sure what it is.
Yep.
That's funny.
She's been spotted at locations with me as well. There was a client of ours that we had did her apartment, and she has abilities as well, and we went back to check on her, and she says, there was a woman standing right next to you with brown hair, and she was tall and kind of looked just like you a little bit. I said, you just described my mom.
Yep.
I lost to cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks. That's why you see her. She passed away in this house.
Oh, okay. In that house. So that's why she's there. Okay. That makes sense. Yep. So what got you into the paranormal? I know we were talking before the show with your connection with the Warrens and John Zaffis and all that, but what got you into the paranormal at a younger age?
I lived in a haunted house. My parents had got this house with rent with option to buy, and you could tell the house was built in the 1800s. It still had skeleton key locks and everything in it. And I was about 6. My sister was about 4. We moved into this house, and every night strange things would happen. My dad wake up freezing. Somebody had turned the heat down. He'd think it's us kids playing with thermostat, but we weren't tall enough to even reach it yet. And then stuff of my mom's would move around on the shelves, and water would turn on in the middle of the night, toilet would flush, and everybody be in bed. And then the dog would dig at a wall and growl and bark, carry on all hours of the night. And one morning they woke up and the car was started.
Oh, wow.
Now, this was long before auto starts, so that's going to tell you my age. But
that's kind of scary almost. It's like, are they going to drive the car next?
Yep. And so one night I heard a noise about 3 o'clock in the morning. Woke up and I looked in my doorway, and here's a full-bodied apparition of a Civil War soldier standing there looking at me.
Oh, wow.
And took the blankets, put it over my head. It's not real. It's going to go away. And got the courage
That's the classic move.
Yeah. I got the courage to look back again, and it was gone. But I can remember I went to school. My sister went to nursery school, and my dad was off work that day. My mom was home from work. She did my laundry, and she set it up on my bed and folded. My dad walks by my room. My laundry scattered all over the room, and so we ended up moving out of there. And these other people would move in. They'd only last about a month, and they'd move out.
Oh, wow.
I can remember before we moved out, we were at my grandparents for dinner during the holiday. I think it was Thanksgiving, and my dad was just getting off work, and he went home to take a quick shower, and he was going to drive out to my grandparents. Well, he calls my grandparents' house, said to my mom, "Did you leave the bathtub running?" My mom said no. Well, the bathroom upstairs was all flooded. Something
Oh,
had
no.
on and plugged the drain and flooded the floor out, and there was a lamp sitting on the floor turned on.
Oh,
And my mom comes back. I came with them. My sister stayed with my grandmother, and my grandfather came. I came with my grandfather and my mom, and the whole upstairs was just flooded. And so after we moved out, like I said, people moved in, didn't stay. Well, I got a little older, probably about 13 is when I started diving into investigating the paranormal. This couple from New York City bought it, and they started remodeling the house. Well, they ripped open that wall that the dog would dig at. The attic had been sealed. My dad was going to open it up, but he didn't want to damage the house, being they were renting it with option to buy. They opened that up, and they found Civil War uniforms, hospital equipment, mats, bayonets, guns, and
wow.
come to find out, I did a little history research as I got older on the house, and it turned out to be a Civil War hospital and base.
Oh, that makes sense. Wow, that's cool. Okay. But why would they put them in the walls? Or was it just because it was blocked off?
It was blocked off.
Okay.
They had sealed it up because they didn't want people finding it. Probably maybe when they got moved out of there is when I'm thinking they sealed that up so nobody else would find it, and they would have came back and got it.
Right. That's crazy. So is the house still standing or do they do investigations or anything there?
No, the house is still there, but I don't. I haven't heard anything. I think the same owners still own it.
Wow. Okay.
Experiencing anything because all the stuff is out of there. It's all in a museum now, I believe.
Okay. So do you think that with the items then it didn't stay in the house?
Yeah, I think the energy went with the items.
Okay. Yep. Sometimes that happens.
So
That's pretty cool.
they've been there since I reached adulthood. They're probably now. I want to say they're probably in their 80s now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
That's cool.
looked up the Google Maps on it just recently, and the house is still there, but it looks like it's been abandoned now. That's falling down. The gutters are falling off of it.
Oh no. That'd be really cool to go back and be able just to visit it and see it as it is. And if it's empty, just go in and film and that's something history and just see what you feel there if there anything comes back.
Yeah, I plan on. We're going back east to see our family this summer, so we're going to be going right by there. So
Okay. So it's not near where you live right now?
no, I'm in Missouri. I grew up in New York State, so I grew up on the East Coast.
Ah, okay.
So that's a little bit of my paranormal history. That's what got me into it.
That's cool. So what got your dad into it? Because you said he was seeing things, but what made him open up and go ahead and start doing it with you?
With his abilities, after his accident, he started seeing things. From he woke up in the hospital to three nuns reading his last rites from a nasty
Ooh.
car accident back in the 70s. This happened before I was born, and the only thing that saved him was one of them iron rock rates stuck him right in the back of the head. and he had broken his neck, his back in that accident. The engine was in his lap,
Oh,
and he died on the way to the hospital. And the only thing he could hear was that he wasn't going to make it, and then he snapped out of it to the nuns right there reading his last rites.
wow. So has he had any lasting effects from the accident?
Oh yeah, his neck in the accident twitches and stuff like that from the arthritis and stuff. He's got severe arthritis in it. And the man worked. I don't know how he did it. He was a construction worker, build houses from the ground up, and he worked with those injuries.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, and I've worked with him on doing construction and stuff like that. And so he was at a school that I worked at. I worked as a night custodian. The school was haunted. This was back in like 2013. And I first week there, and just getting into the routine, wasn't used to the place. It was like my first night. I'm cleaning the home ec room, which what we call fax room now, but I decided to go to dinner and I'll come back and clean it. I shut the door, shut the lights off. I go to dinner, come back. The door's wide open to the classroom, lights are on. The high school boys' bathroom, the lights on in there. I'm like, there was no lights on in there when I left to go to dinner. So I was like, maybe a teacher came in. Well, I'm there working. I hear kids running up down the hallway. I go down, start chasing after, figuring out where it's coming from. I go, look, there's nobody. I'm the
Yep.
only one in the building. And so talked to the superintendent and I asked her, I said, are you aware of what's going on in here? She goes, oh no, I'm losing a custodian. I said, you're not losing a custodian. There are kids running up and down the hallway and I'm the only one in the building. Says, I know about the phantom basketball. And I was like, I investigate this stuff. I'm not going to leave.
Right.
Would you mind if I set out, bring some equipment in, just set it out? She says, I don't care as long as you're working. So I used to bring the game cameras in that you put out in the woods, and I'd set them up in the hallway. And so one night my dad came in, and I was picking up the one camera I had sitting in the hallway, and I see his hat go flying off his head. And I'm like, you're just playing a joke on me. Because my dad, he's a little jokester too. He likes to play jokes on me. And so I didn't think nothing of it. He's like, I didn't do it. So we start walking down the hallway again, pick up the other camera. Now there's a little bit of light illuminating so you can see, and his hat goes flying again. And his hands are down at his side. This time I'm watching him. And so it he decided, and I said to him, I said, well, you got abilities as well from your accident. You might as well come out and we go help people.
Right.
So Beyond Life, I was doing it before him. I formed Beyond Life Paranormal Research in New York State in 2006, and then moved it out here in 2012. And my dad and I have been doing it over 15 years out here. The group itself is hitting 20 years old this year.
Nice. So how many people do you have on your group?
There's 3 of us.
Oh, okay. So what kind of locations do y'all go to? Like you said, you want to help people. How do y'all do that?
We do residential cases.
Oh, okay.
So people call us. We do a lot of houses.
Oh, okay.
Kind of carry on the Ed and Lorraine work, helping people in the tradition with residential. That's more of our passion. I mean, we've done some of the bigger places. We've done Missouri State. I've done Waverly Hills. I've been to Pythian Castle here in Missouri, and now you saw we're going to Mortuary Manor in Toledo, Ohio, the big funeral home museum and stuff. But
Okay.
our true passion is helping people, helping families, and educating, and just like my cousins did, and stuff
Nice.
like that.
Okay. So what's been your most interesting case?
My most interesting case was my very first demonic case that we worked,
Okay.
and this lady, she was really in bad shape, past trauma, and she was sleepwalking. She sleepwalked, got in her car, and drove to Walmart, bought a box of cereal, drove back home, and woke up in the front yard of the house.
Oh,
Rainstorm.
no, no medication or anything?
No medication. She's got a lot
Wow. Yeah.
of
That's
bad.
usually the first thing I ask because a lot of people who take Ambien. So I've actually taken Ambien for about a week or so, and then it's like I was doing things that I didn't even know about. So it's like, nope, can't do that anymore.
And she got to the point where she wanted to kill her husband, hurt her family, and her husband, nicest guy you want to meet, EMT, firefighter. He's gone some of the weeks out of the time because of work, and she called us in. We went there, did the initial interview, and I have forms for my clients to fill out and questionnaires, and it was like something was telling her what to write on that questionnaire. It wasn't even her writing.
Oh, wow.
And so the day of the investigation, we went and brought my team. We went and I was showing them around, showing them the closet down in the basement. I opened that closet door. Our client went with us, and I opened that closet door. There's a noose hanging in the closet, but all different sizes. And as soon as I opened that closet, it was just like a switch flipped. She started freaking out, crying. She ran upstairs. Her daughter goes, "I love you, Mom." She went like this, ran out the door.
Oh, wow.
My one member, she went out, and we were out on the sidewalk, and she was holding her hand, trying to calm her down. Her eyes rolling in the back of her head. "It's mine. I don't want it to leave." And an upside down cross scratched in the side of her neck.
Wow.
And that was my most interesting one that I've done. That took 6 months to get that back to normal, and now everything is good. We're like family tours. She invites us over for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. We saved her marriage, her whole family.
So what did you end up having to do to be able to help her? Did you have to bring a priest in, or what did you do?
Yeah, I have connections with Sister Farrah Rose Deal out of Springfield, Missouri, and stuff like that. So she worked with her as well as I did, and a lot of video and phone stuff with Farrah, and we had to do a lot of religious cleansings, and kept coming back and doing them sporadically. And she got to the point she was smelling roses in the house.
Oh, okay. So did y'all ever determine what caused it? Was it something that she had picked up somewhere or something happened?
It was something from her childhood because of
Okay.
her past trauma. Her mom was in the Santeria, and
Okay.
they have a lot of dark stuff back where she grew up, and so, and her stepdad comes every year and he blesses the house for her. He brings up holy water and stuff like that. So he kind of helps us
Okay.
out. We're on the road, we're busy, so he helps us out with that as well. So he'll come and do a blessing on the house, and
That's good.
we still check on her. We call, like I said, we go over for Thanksgiving every year. She invites us over to barbecue.
So like you said, you're almost like family now.
We're like family.
Yep, that's good. So, because a lot of people, they'll go in and they'll start helping people with these investigations, and then they don't follow up. They don't go in and help them to the end. They go in and get things stirred up, and then they disappear. That's where most of the investigators, they don't know what to do. They're just trying to investigate to find the evidence,
Yep.
not to help. So that's where it's like, that's why I'm asking the questions. It's like, what'd you do to help? So I like that you guys follow up and stay in touch with them.
Yep. And if we can't help them, we don't abandon them. We'll get them the help they need. If they need
Yep.
psychological, we'll get them help. I mean, there's several cases we've done where one case we busted up a sexual molestation ring going on.
Wow. That
And,
happens more than people realize.
yep. And then there was another case that we did. They had a 1-year-old. The girl was over here from the Philippines, and she married this guy, and this guy was pimping her out for money.
Jeez.
And we run into a lot of that stuff. And with like me, I work for the state of Missouri. I have to be a mandated reporter when it comes to that. If I see it, I have to report it.
Right.
And
so do you work at the correction center, or what do you do?
I work for a school district.
Okay. Because my son is in Missouri, and he's works for the prison system.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So
I work.
completely understand. Yep.
As maintenance and custodian, and so I deal with a lot of that in these cases. I'll go in with these kids and stuff. A lot of times I'll give my client the opportunity, like sexual molestation, when we gave our client the opportunity. Said, you got the opportunity to hotline him, or we have to do it.
Right.
And she took it upon herself, and she did it, and he's locked away now. He's in prison.
Good. Yeah, because a lot of people just want to ignore it and walk away from it. So I'm glad you did that.
And then, like another case, we had another team come in. They didn't even last 10 minutes in the house. They ran at it. They no explanation. Never. Client reached out to them. They never even answered the phone.
Wow. It's because probably they didn't know how to help or what to do. And that's where I know one of my first investigations, I was on the team, the very first team that I joined. They had me go to a house with them, and the family was just having problems. And they went in, kind of did a little bit of investigating, and then said that they would come back, and then they ghosted them. But she had gotten my number while we were there too. So she reached out to me on the side. We're still friends to this day. So it is because I was able to help them, but it's something is like, you just don't go and then not try to help these people. You're giving them false hope.
Well, they went in there, they set up equipment, did a couple things, and then they were out of there in under 10 minutes. They ran out the door, and then they had somebody that was supposed to be a priest with them. That guy didn't even last in there, and they ended up calling us. She sent me a video of her husband, and something took over his body, sitting in the chair, and he's acting like he's
right.
calling his name. He's not responding to her, and then he calls his name the third time. He looks up at her with a blank stare. His eyes are black, and he goes, "Shh."
Oh, wow.
To her. And when we got there, he was hitting himself, punching his face, and all kinds of stuff. And come to find out, the place used to be an old schoolhouse for blind kids. There was a lot of trauma and torture to the kids there. If they were bad, they were locking them downstairs in the basement in a cage and starving them. And they would drop them down a hole. They lift up a piece of plywood and drop them down the hole into the ground.
Oh, geez. So there's probably a lot of kids that died there.
Yeah, there was a lot that died there. And so we ended up helping them, and we got the guy back on track. That thing was...
So did y'all have to do a cleansing on the location, or what did you do?
Yeah, we did a whole cleansing, sealed the house up so nothing could come back in. We chased everything out.
Okay, good.
We did
because a lot of people, they don't understand is like when you do a house cleansing, then, or, kind of getting things off of somebody where they're, having the attachments, if they keep doing the same stuff that they were doing before, they can open that back up. Just because you seal it, it doesn't always stay sealed because they can open those lines of communications and allow it to come back in. So they have to change what they're doing as well to make sure that that stays away. So that's to where it's like, well, you came out and did this, but it didn't help. Well, what are you doing in the meantime? Well, I did this. I did. Okay. So you brought in a new Ouija board. You're doing this. Is like, you have to stop those practices.
Exactly. And that's why we always follow up to see if they're still continuing. We had one case that was not solvable in Oklahoma. It was on the Trail of Tears that we did, and this guy was doing occult practices in his house, and he had a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old in the home, a 19-year-old daughter who was also playing with occult practice stuff.
Oh no!
And the mother had called us in because she was concerned about her grandkids. So we got there and interviewed the clients, and we were talking to the guy, and he's telling us what he's into, and I was like, first of all, you shouldn't even be doing that with these kids in here. You just endangered them. And he conjured up a demonic entity in his house, and he ended up going to work. Well, his mom come through the house, and she found all his stuff that had pentagrams on it and posters and stuff that had all that stuff, and she burned them.
Oh no!
And I confiscated some of the items that he was using for that, and I took them out of the house. And we got going through the night. My dad and I were investigating. He was watching our DVR cameras. About 1 o'clock, I decided to take a break. We were just going to sit and let the cameras do their work. Well, the one camera in the hallway sat there and just kept pulsating, like static. And then it started getting progressively worse. And kept watching this black figure, big tall thing, appeared in the hallway. And I said to my dad, I said, keep watching it. I'm gonna go check that out. I go back there, and you can immediately feel it was not a regular spirit by any means. It had pressure on my chest, and I was holding on to my Saint Benedict medal, and that thing dropped down to 5 foot tall and come running at me and disappeared at my leg, and took nails and scratched me right down my arm. And I stood my ground. I didn't show fear because that's what they feed off of.
Yep.
And we got done. The guy wanted us out of the house. And his mother says, I called them. They're not leaving. I want this resolved.
Did the mother live at the house as well?
No, she lived down the road. So I had her take the kids out of there for the night because I did not want them there because of what this thing can do. And
right.
So she took them to her house.
So I guess in a situation like that, because it's his house and his stuff, and he really didn't want you there, was it really effective that, for you to do that, or to go in and clean, because he's going to bring it right back?
Yeah, we did a cleansing on the girlfriend. I had the mom bring the kids back, and I advised the family. I said to his girlfriend, my advice to you is to get out of here because he's not going to follow our instructions. He says, I'm not doing your holy water. I'm not doing your cleansing against my religion.
Yeah.
I said to Mom, I said, get these grandkids out of here and keep them at your house and not let them come back here. And I said, this thing is only going to come back and is going to come back 10 times angry. And I said, that 19-year-old girl, she needs to be out of here too.
So were they his kids as well, or was it the girlfriend's?
It was his kids. It was his daughter and 2 boys.
Okay.
And the girlfriend got in contact with me shortly after, and they were driving down the road, and he said his eyes turned black. They were arguing. He tried to strangle her. She dove out of the vehicle going down the highway at 70 miles an hour.
Oh, jeez.
Shattered her leg and everything just to get away from him.
So did she report him or anything, or did she just get away?
She reported him.
Okay, good. Yeah, because on something like that, it's like, because he's never going to get himself any better if he chooses not to. they have to want to be able to release it.
And after that, I never heard any more about it. So I don't know any more results on it.
Right.
But I know the mom did take the kids out of there.
Good. That's good. Yeah, because you got to protect the kids because they're the innocent ones.
And
yeah, I had a case that I was doing in Las Vegas where they called me in and there was just a lot of anger with the dad, the son, everybody was having issues. Well, once I got there, it was almost like each one of them were being possessed by something totally different and trying to kill each other. They were literally talking about, I'm going to go get a gun and do this, and telling me step by step what they were going to do. So on something like that, for me, that turns into more of a violence thing. And even though it's paranormal, are they going to really do this? So I had to get the police involved. And it's something that it's hard to make those decisions, but you've also got to protect the kids that are there.
Yep, exactly. And a lot of it, too, you find a lot of it's not all paranormal. A lot of it's psychological.
That's the thing, too. Had another case where we came in and one of the kids, he's autistic, but he's very high functioning, but he was starting to see things on the wall and stuff like that. Well, whenever I went in, I can immediately feel arguing and just all kinds of stuff in the house. Well, come to find out, the boyfriend was actually doing the Ouija board and doing all kinds of stuff. Now, I am not against the Ouija board because I actually use it myself, but it's to the point you have to know how to use it and use it for the good purpose and be able to close it. But he was using it for his own gain and not doing good with it. But he was making it to the point where he was doing drugs and all that, but they were starting to get all this stuff happening. It was self-manifesting. So that's kind of like a poltergeist almost, where they were manifesting these issues in the house because of the anger that he was bringing in. So it's to the point of, you got to get rid of the boyfriend. You know, your kids are going to keep going through this as long as the boyfriend's there. So I can give the advice, but I can't make that happen. So they actually called me probably about 3 months ago, and this was 2 years ago. So she finally, almost 2 years later, finally got rid of him. But yeah, but it's to the point, sometimes, like you said, it's manifested. You create it yourself, and it's all emotional. It's the mental thing, and it's not always paranormal.
And a lot of people don't realize, too, like teenage girl hormones, when they're going through their teenager phase, they manifest poltergeists in homes.
Yep. Well, even boys, when they're going through their testosterone, so it's that just trying to find who you are and, where your path is. And that's even grown women, grown men, trying to figure out who they are and what they're doing, because they manifest those too. But the kids are so volatile when they're at that because of their emotions. They can't control it.
Yep. And yeah, we deal with a lot of it. Like Brilliant says, you can lead a horse to water, but you got to be really strong to drown the darn thing.
I am not strong enough to drown a horse, so I'll take them there and they can do what they need to do.
Right. And I mean, that's even like your demonic stuff too. It's very rare, but it's there.
Yes.
I mean, it does get thrown around quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's where, and Mike probably said it while he was on the show before, but he has a saying that there's about the demons. Yeah, I'm just not bringing a black light. So I'm not going to say his saying. But yeah, and that's the whole thing is like, I know there are dark energies and stuff out there, and it goes dark as I say that. My monitor went off. But for him, it's, just that kind of threw me off. Sorry. But it's to what was I saying?
We were talking about the demonic entity.
Totally lost it. It'll come back to me in a second.
We were talking about how rare they are and how they get that E word gets thrown around quite a bit.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's just because people are so fixated in what they're seeing on TV and everything. It's like not everything is demons, and it's to the point of you can have the dark shadows. And for me, as I'm doing my readings with people, I actually see dark shadows behind everybody. And those dark shadows are because they're on the other side of the realm. And then whenever I start connecting with them, then they step through and become more transparent and I can start seeing them. But they're dark shadows. And a lot of people are afraid of the dark. And you
Right.
can tell for me when they do step through, if they don't change color, then yeah, that means they have a darker soul and it's a darker spirit. So it's have to handle that one in a different way.
Right. And like my dad and I, we spent the night in this one abandoned hotel that we got called to investigate. There's no running water, no electricity. The rest of my team decided they wanted to go to a fancy hotel. So my dad and I are like, we're not going to spend the money on a fancy hotel. We're going to stay right here. So,
Rough.
yeah, we're going to rough it. So I had started nodding off on the couch, and my dad was nodding off in the chair, and he says, "Hey, you awake?" I'm like, "Barely. What?" And about 3 o'clock in the morning, generator kicked off. So we had a little lamp running that went out. The whole camera system went out. So my dad says, "Look in the doorway," and here's a big, tall shadow figure over 6 foot, just standing there looking at us.
Yep.
And didn't bother us. He just staring. We figured it was the former owner. He figured power went out in his hotel. He's checking on his guests.
There you go. And there's no reason to be afraid of it. They're not going, most of the time, they're not going to do anything. Now, if you're antagonizing and stuff like that, then you may get scratched or you may get something thrown at you. But on most cases, it's not going to happen.
We had a question here. What do you guys feel about the phenomenon and David Grush's claims?
I'm not familiar with David Grush.
I'm not familiar with him as well either. Definitely have to look into that.
Yeah, have to look into that. But yeah, talking about roughing it, Mike and I we were on a road trip and then we stopped at one of his friend's house and they had it's Starlight Hills campground. And they had a glamping tent that they had set up and they invited us to come and stay there. So Mike and I got set up in the glamping tent, no electricity or anything like that. They had a small generator and it was cold, but a small heater there, but it just was not enough because we're in North Carolina in the mountains. And so the next morning, Mike is not good in the country. He does not like bugs. He doesn't like any of the creepy crawlies, anything like that. He had a Sprite. He had left it on the floor and spilled just a little bit. And so there were ants all over the place near his Sprite. So as he wakes up, he's jumping out of his bed doing this. It's like, he's like, I'm out of here. So we stayed at that location for probably 3 or 4 days, and he stayed with the friends and left me in the glamping tent. So I'm up there by myself on this campground with nobody around. So that night I'm hearing something shaking my tent. And it's pretty solid, but you can still, it's going to move. And I go and I look out and there's nothing there. But come to find out, they had Bigfoot in the area and they have all kinds of stuff. So I was like, that may have been what that was, So it's like, we're going to try to go back up there and see if we can do some kind of event or investigate more. But I can guarantee Mike will not be staying in the tent. But yeah, any kind of bugs or anything like that, you'll see him. He's just batting and he hates bugs.
I could see him in like the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee.
Well, we did Bigfoot hunting, and I don't know if you saw episode 4, but we're out in Alabama in the woods, and he is just, yeah, you can tell he is not he's not a country boy, not at all.
I guess that guy that he was talking about is an intelligence officer who claims that what we call aliens are actually interdimensional beings, non-human intelligence. He testified in congressional hearings.
So as far as that, I don't know the details on that, but as far as other beings and stuff, I totally believe that there's other realms, there's portals, there's all kinds of stuff for beings to come in and out of, come through. Honestly, I think Bigfoot has some way of keeping himself through a portal because that's how you can't find him. It's like the elusive Bigfoot. There's so much out there that we don't know about, and they're finding things in the Amazon. all the time they're coming up and finding new animals and stuff. So who's to say? But for me, I think there's other realms. I think there's portals, and we have all kinds of different things that are out there.
Right. I know, I don't know if you know Carter Burchard, our Missouri Bigfoot guy.
I don't.
He has more than 100 reports posted, more than 1,000 actually, reports posted for the state of Missouri of Bigfoot sightings. And he said he was out one night and he had a thermal and he watched one actually walking on two legs upright,
Yep.
start shrinking and goes to an orb and then just disappears.
And that's exactly how I envision it. So with me, I'm on with the Blondes and the Boos. They're out of Missouri as well. And so we've actually started, because in the production, we are now doing a show with them. It's called Paranormally Blonde. So we're getting ready to start filming that. And it's 4 blondes going out and we're doing Bigfoot hunting, all the cryptids, all the aliens, paranormal. I'm paranormal. I've not done any of the Bigfoot hunting. I've not done any of the cryptids and all that. So I'm going to be totally out of my element when we do that. So that's kind of the idea of us going out and looking at all this stuff. So that's a location that we're definitely going to have to look into.
Yeah. He does a lot of stuff down in Mark Twain National Forest down there in South Missouri. It's supposed to be
Okay.
a spot for Bigfoot activity.
Yeah. So we may hit you up and just kind of touch base with you and say, hey, what's going on around your area, and see what we can do with you.
All right.
Because we're going to be connecting with a lot of different people and even put you out of your element.
All right. That'll work.
So we'll talk with you on that.
We actually had a Bigfoot sighting going to Gettysburg over the summer.
Really?
Up in the Allegheny Mountains.
Oh, wow.
It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. I was driving, and the Allegheny Mountains has got, when you're climbing, it's got all these sharp turns going up through there. Well, we were coming through and my headlights hit a figure raiding a trash can at the end of the road, and the house sits way back up in the mountain. And I didn't catch it. My dad caught it, and he says, "You'll never believe what I just saw." I said, "What?" He said, "I just saw a Bigfoot."
That's cool.
It was crouched down, raiding the trash can, had the trash can lid in its hand, and it stood up when my headlights hit it and curled its lip at him, and it had the trash can lid ready to throw it.
Oh, no.
We kept going. He told me after we got by it, and I was like, I want to turn around and go see if I can experience it.
Yeah, he might attack you. It sounded like he was aggressive.
Like I was telling Carter about it, and he says he probably would have went back. He knew he'd been spotted. He'd probably been gone.
He was already gone. Yep.
So we got to our hotel, and I did some research on it, and I found there's been a lot of sightings up there in the Allegheny Mountains.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's rich Bigfoot activity up through there because the Shawnee National Park is right there.
Right. Yeah, we'll definitely have to check all that out. And I know when we were in Virginia City, going just kind of through the hills and stuff, and we looked down, Mike got all excited. I saw a bear. There's a bear down there. And so it's like, and we drove back by, and he's like, the bear is there again. And I'm like, Mike, look at it was a statue of a bear, because they had a deer over here and all kinds of different stuff, and they just had them there. And it's like, so now I give him such a hard time every time we see a bear or anything like that. And it's like, there's your bear. But just being able to see it. So we have to get him to where he can actually see a real live bear.
Revelations asks, have you seen the footage of the Bigfoot-like creature traversing the side of a snow-filled mountain at an incredible pace? I came across it on YouTube.
I have seen that one, and it's like the people are up here and there you can see it going, and it's like there's just no way that can be a person and be able to do that. And it's like, how can you explain that?
Do you guys do any dogmen investigating on the show too?
We have not, as far as Para with the Normal goes, but we're going to start getting into the different cryptids and stuff like that. But with Paranormally Blonde, we do have a cryptid and a dogman show that we're going to be an episode that we're going to be working on. So yeah, we're going to be doing that.
Nice. I know Carter said he's been getting a lot of reports of dogmen here in Missouri lately.
Okay.
Missouri and Arkansas.
Yep. And that's where, like I said, I'm coming to Omaeus in March because we're doing a fundraiser for Half Inch Wrench. They're over the holidays, their house burned down, so they lost everything. So we're doing a fundraising event for them on March 7th. And that's going to be at Omaeus, Missouri. So if anybody's interested in coming and hanging out, I'll be there, and we're going to be probably filming as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I heard that's a pretty awesome place. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. And they're saying that they've got pretty much everything. If you want to see aliens, if you want to see orbs, if you want to see the lights, and someone even said fairies. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go check that out. But also, the cryptids, Dogman, Bigfoot, and even ghosts is like, so they say they have everything.
Yeah, because that's down and around that area where a lot of that is spotted.
Right. So who knows? Maybe we can find a portal. That would be cool.
And when you're done there, you can head over to Zombie Road because it's not that far from Zombie Road either.
So what happened on Zombie Road?
Zombie Road, there's a video that's been posted years ago. Somebody was walking along the trail, filmed all these dark figures along the trees looking at them.
Oh, wow.
That's how it got the name Zombie Road.
Oh, okay. So did they ever find any kind of history on it or anything showing what, maybe there was a trail or something?
I believe there was a Civil War went down through there because Missouri's got its Civil War stuff that went on through here. So
okay.
And St. Louis has always got a paranormal history with The Exorcist and
right. Yep. Yeah, because as soon as you start talking about the figures that are watching them, it's something that I immediately see that it was almost like a Native Americans or, like you're saying, the Civil War, and just people marching, people walking forward. And what do you believe is going on at Skinwalker Ranch? I think that's aliens.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep.
I actually talked to Dave Schrader on an episode of Ghost Adventures when they were out there. And he went up on the mountain by himself. He gave Zach his cell phone and stuff.
Yep.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about it too. It's like, he's like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to really do it. He's like, you're not going to be able to do anything with it anyway. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Rupert Guy's been up near Skinwalker Ranch. He was up on that mountain up there near Skinwalker
Really?
Ranch.
Oh, okay. Where is Skinwalker? Where is it at? I'm not sure.
I think it's out in Nevada, I believe. Out near Nevada, I believe.
Okay. I'll have to look it up because I know it's kind of desert area. Yeah. I don't know if it was Nevada or Arizona or.
With AI and CGI effects so accessible, how much stock do you put in footage of paranormal events?
So that's where being in production, and I'm also a editor and stuff, and you can so easily put AI into all that stuff. But there are telltale signs, especially if you're hearing voices and stuff like that. You're going to be able to see little bitty things because it's not perfect. You're going to see the different variations, there's unique stuff that if you're looking for it, but so many people try to use that. And I think it's wrong. I think there should be a disclaimer. This is AI. That should automatically be on there.
We were watching this one Native American video, how they survived in the winter. And there was a guy standing there, a Native American guy, and you could tell it was done with AI. He was facing like this towards the screen. And then all of a sudden, his body stayed and his head was turned around.
Yep. Yeah. And that's obviously AI, and you look at their hands, you're going to see, sometimes 6 fingers or sometimes there's just little 3 fingers or, somebody could have been in an accident, but in most cases, you're going to see what the issues are, or they have 3 legs, Because even on our podcast, we have someone do a AI entry for us. And we have the goat. It's a huge goat, and of course it's AI, but it's coming in and it's biting the tire. But then you see the side of the tire like this, so it's biting it as the wheel's still turning. It's like, so it's obviously AI, and you can't, what are you going to do with that?
Right. Brilliant said it's in Utah.
Utah. Okay.
My buddy Rich is an owl man.
I think there's going to be some kind of animal for everything. They're going to have something. And I haven't heard of the owl man, but I'm sure somebody, it's out there.
AI.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's like Slender Man, how Slender Man is created. He was just a story to scare kids, and now all of a sudden he's reality.
Yep. Well, and that's manifestation. And that's where you can start. If you just say it enough, you're going to manifest it. You're going to make it happen. So some of those legends out there are based on truth. A lot of it is just fantasy, but there's truth to it.
Well, I always say you can implant that seed in somebody's mind, and they will run with it.
They will run with it. And it's like the telephone game. You tell one person this, and by the end over here, it was, just 2 feet tall, and over here it's 10 feet tall. So it's going to morph into something different.
And I tell people that all the time. I said, I can tell you that cup's haunted, and you'll believe it, and you'll keep that in your mind. You'll focus on it, and you'll manifest that energy to it.
Yep. And that's where I work with people with spiritual energy and stuff like that. And I tell them it's all in the intent. I can actually give somebody a pencil and say, I have put positive energies into this. If you hold on to this when you're stressed, it's going to help you calm down. But because that's in their head, they hold on to that pencil. It is a physical reaction that they are going to start calming down because they allow that to happen. So it's all in the intention, and it could be just what you're telling them. That's how people are easily manipulated sometimes. And it can be done in a good way, and it can be done in a bad way.
Right. And that's even locations too. You can say that even about a location too.
Yep.
Oh, that house is haunted over there, even though it's not. And then somebody's going to believe it and make that story up. Oh, I heard that house is haunted. We need to go check it out.
Yep. And that's where it's may not be haunted right now, but you bring enough people in and you bring enough traffic through, you're going to start leaving those energies there. You're going to leave a trace. So you're going to make something happen, even though it wasn't before.
Revelations asked, have you guys heard of Skywatcher program? They claim that they use Panasonic abilities to call in UAPs, UFOs, and have classified.
So I actually know a few people who are part of this program, and they're very much into it. So like I said, I haven't been a part of it, but they're definitely there.
That's my buddy Richie.
But he could be working up an appetite. So when he's going to all these places, having to climb down those chimneys, he's working up an appetite. So who knows?
One thing about Richie's a stand-up comedian. He has comedy bits where he goes out and does stand-up comedy for the veterans.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He's a veteran himself. He's a former Marine, retired.
Thank you for your service.
And he goes out and does comedy bits for all these veterans that are suffering with PTSD and stuff like that.
So does he do paranormal events as well?
He's going to be on my show. He's actually investigated a haunted brothel out in Oregon.
We had a few of those in Las Vegas too. So
he's going to be on the show talking about it. He's got pictures, and he caught some stuff while he was out there in the pictures.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason I was saying that is because I know somebody who's doing the vet. It's an EVP, and they work with the veterans. They're doing programs, taking them on investigations and stuff like that. So with him being a vet, he can get in on that and then kind of the comedic part of it. So they might be interested in talking to him.
There you go, Richie.
Connections.
That'd be something for you.
Yep.
I know Brandon Cooper does a lot of that too.
Yes. I know Brandon as well.
Yeah, him and I are good buddies. He's the one that actually got me started in podcasting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I met him at the Haygood Mill. That was the first time for me to meet him when he did his first event out there.
And Richie's also Native American too.
Aha. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, Brandon and I are going to be at an event in October together.
Okay. Where's that going to be at?
Indiana, Squatches and Legends Con.
I know I'm in Indiana. What's the name of it?
Squatches and Legends Con.
Okay, I don't know that one. I'd have to look and see because I know we're going to be in the area. So,
How do you explain people that use DMT from different parts of the world claiming to see the same entities?
so what is DMT?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that either.
Well, and that's to where I think with them seeing the same things, and that's where, like, even in the Mayans, where you're looking at the different pyramids, all the they're building here, there's there's transports. People are going to be moving around, and it's possible to see the same thing. Who's to say that this being is here and it doesn't use a portal to come over here? So you're going to see the same thing.
Richie said, let's make a connection.
Yep. Find me on Facebook, MaryLynn Bast, and we'll start chatting.
I'll send you her info, Richie. Because her and I are friends on Facebook, so
yep.
That way you don't have to try to dig through my Facebook page. 1,000.
Right. So hey, I've got to drop.
All right. If people want to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you and book your stuff?
On Facebook, MaryLynn Bast, also Lost Goat Productions. And then you can also find me on Para with the Normal on Stream Beacon TV. Right now, you can watch that for free. So go in, check it out. We have season 2 that's going to be releasing soon. And then, like I said, we're going to start filming season 3 later this year. So we're going to start having 2 seasons coming out per year instead of just 1. So kind of get us out there more often and other projects. So Lost Goat Productions. You can find me on Facebook. We are on also Lost Goat Podcast every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And you can find that on Facebook, and you can also find that on YouTube. So just catch us there.
All right. And before I forget, my dad told me to tell you hello.
Hi.
Watching.
Oh, okay. What's his name?
Same as mine, Russell.
Okay. Hi, Russell. Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for being a guest on the show. If you want to hang back stage for a minute, I'm going to close the show out.
Okay.
Right. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm going to play this commercial real quick, and then I'll be right back with you.
I sing out loud, my voice lifts hearts. Tucker House proud when the music starts. Sawyer plays the keys, soul through sound. Carson's guitar shakes the ground. We're the dream team, and we love to sing. Tucker backs us up, he's such an amazing pup. He keeps the rhythm.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Definitely check out Para with the Normal. It's an awesome show, especially with Michael. And Michael, I'll ask her if she battled goblins. I'll ask her. She's backstage right now. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Remember, if you're being bullied in the paranormal field, you do have a voice. Check us out tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. I will have my dad on tomorrow night, and we'll be talking about something. So we will see you again tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central. Everybody have a good night. God bless. And stay safe out there. We'll see you again soon.